Hey, everybody, welcome to Budget Podcasting with Clay and Kevin. I'm Kevin.
I am Clay.
And what this podcast is all about is, it's podcasting on a budget. We both, you know, I'm messing up my words already. First episode. Welcome to episode 1,
Yeah.
podcasting on a budget, guys. We
We're
don't know what
both
we're doing.
yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, and it's
Yep.
we're kind of hoping that at some point we generate through the chat the means to go further with this.
Exactly.
And anybody that's like, we're starting out with podcasting. Both of us have been doing YouTube for quite a while, and we're just going to show you the ins and outs and tricks and things that we've learned, and then with the chat we will contribute and bounce off of each other.
This is true. Episode 1 is basically going to be an introduction. Who am I? Who's Clay? How we met. Some of the podcasting gear that we started out with, maybe, and go from there up until to what we're currently using. I currently am on the 5-core retro microphone. How fancy is that? Clay, what you on?
This is the Fine K688 with the customized purple. Obviously, I'm gonna go the purple route. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I want to get that mic on the screen soon, but I'm having trouble mounting it. So
it does mount a little hard. I had to get an extender and a quick release and use it that way. But yeah. So a little bit about how we met. Man, Clay put out a video about podcasters and creators helping each other, and I commented on his post, and we just started a dialogue, and it kind of went from there, and we've became good friends, just going back and forth. He has another podcast that he does with Level Up with Mike Newman right there in the chat.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
It is one of those things to where we just sort of decided to, hey, we want to do something that'll be beneficial for everybody starting out on a budget, because not everybody has, a ton of money to start out podcasting.
Yeah.
It's one of those things to where we've always said you don't need to wait for the best gear. Just find something, hit record, and go.
Yeah,
and
use what you got. Yep. And that's one of the things that I'm always saying on the Chronicles is like don't wait around, because you're gonna wait around and you might find that the stuff that you put out could have got you a little bit further down the road. You've got to put out some bad stuff to get better.
This is very true. And like we'll talk about where we first started. Like when Clay said, talk about where we started out. Oh man, I started out using one of the worst webcams ever. I think it was like a 720p, and using Zoom to record, and
I wouldn't even know how to do that.
I use Zoom to record using a green screen that, man, it was horrible. I think I first started off with like a green sheet behind me and tried to chroma key that in with the Zoom filter behind it. It was horrible. The mic I was using was, earbud mic, to where the quality of it was just horrendous. I'll still go back and watch it just so I can see where I came from.
Yeah.
How about you, Clay? Where did you come from? What was the first type of gear you started with?
I'm still using it. My phone. Like, I've started with a phone. What's worse though is like back when one of the first, I did a review on the Movo.
Mm-hmm.
The what was it? The WMX1s. I have the set, and I did the whole thing. I had no mic at all. I was just using whatever mic was on the thing, and it was bad. Like, it sounded. I don't know how anybody watched it and didn't want to shove a pencil in their ear.
Is that bad? That
To
bad.
me, yeah. Well, now because now I'm like a snob when it comes to microphones. Like it's got to sound right, or we're not doing it. You know?
It's got to look right too, because
Yeah.
nowadays microphone is all about not only the sound, but it's got to look good too. Like once we upgraded from there, I went to a Yeti, and I used a Yeti for a long time. But Yetis nowadays, you don't see anybody really using Yetis anymore because they're definitely outdated. They have a real tinny, high pitched
Yeah.
sound to them. Yeah, they're
It's
not.
because they're 4 different capsules, and they're all real small capsules, like really tiny,
Hmm.
and they're all positioned in different directions. I had a Blue Yeti that my boss had given me, and then I had a fine. I think it was a K690 or a K6. I think it was a K690. Horrible. They don't sound like this. I mean, you could put them on a boom arm or something, but it
Hmm.
looked ridiculous. It just looked stupid. So
All right, let's see. I want to see some of the, I want to say hi to some of the people in the chat. Do a
go.
little
Yep.
roll call. Do a little
Yep. Go
roll
ahead.
call if we will. We got live stream consultants in the chat. How's it going, homie?
What's
How's
up,
it
Chris? How you
going?
doing?
We got Level Up with Mike Newman, as previously mentioned.
Mike.
How's it going, man? Yo Cholo in the house.
What's up, Felix?
Got Mr. Crispers. How's it going, Crispy? All right. And Mod Squad in the
Yep.
house. I like it. I like it. Honestly, this is our first show, and I didn't expect anybody to be
No,
popping up in the chat. Yeah,
no, I
to
didn't
tell you the
expect
truth.
anybody
So
in there.
I want to thank everybody who's actually watching, because
Yes.
we didn't expect it. So
Yeah.
episode one, podcasting with a budget. Yeah,
These shows are nothing if nobody's watching. So
that is true. That is very true. And we're here. If you have questions, we'll probably answer your questions more times than not at the end of most shows. But since this is our first show, and we didn't have a whole lot planned out for the first show, because we're trying to get to know each other, know our speaking patterns. We're trying to get to know each other's, finding each other's charisma, if you will. So it's one of
right.
those things to where we're getting to know each other a little bit more while we're doing the show. So definitely. Oh
Yeah.
man, thank you. Oh, I changed it yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike, I changed it yesterday. It was all white, and I ordered a whole bunch of those pill and stick brick things. It took me about 5 hours to do this whole. It's only 2 walls. I only did 2 walls. It took me about 5 hours
It's
to
like
do
the
them all,
corner.
and oh yeah,
Yeah.
and my back is absolutely killing me. It's absolutely killing me.
Yeah. We did like a little practice run last night, and he had to do all this before we did that.
Uh-huh.
And by the time we both got to get on and do a little practice run, we were both just like, mine was just from work, his was from doing that,
All of this,
and then he had to put it
which
all
is
back together.
which is another reason why we don't have everything totally planned out. But that's what podcasting is. A lot of times you don't need to have everything planned out. A lot of times, especially if you're live and you have people in the chat, you can feed off of them. I
Yep.
do that a lot with my other podcast, Back to the Retro Review, to where when we're live, we I mean, not Back to the Retro Review, the Mod Squad Network. When we're live, I interact with the chat going out, and I want to make sure everybody's voice gets heard. But sometimes you can't get to everybody, which is, in my opinion, understandable.
Right. Yeah. No, that's it.
All right.
What do we got?
So we got a live stream
Making sure we
consultant.
addressed it, everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got a live stream consultant saying, that's not true, Clay. When no one is watching, you can make all the mistakes and no one will notice. This is true, but it stays on YouTube. It'll stay on
Yeah.
YouTube for sure. It'll definitely stay on YouTube. All right. So I want to know, what gear is some of your wish list gear, Clay? What is some of your wish list gear? We'll start with microphone. What is your wish list microphone?
Earthworks Ethos. That is my wish list microphone.
Hey, I knew I liked you for a reason, man. That's kind of mine too.
Ever since I heard that thing, I was like, "Oh my god, I want that!" But I can't do $400 or more. I just can't.
No, No,
But
and a lot of people will say for about $400 you can get the Shure SM7B, but you don't need a Shure SM7B really. And technically you don't need an Earthworks.
no, I just like
It's
it.
one of those, yeah, it's one of those things to where it's a wish list. But since this is budget podcasting, this microphone right here was only about 40 bucks. 40 bucks for this microphone, and I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I
those are
have the
cool.
tank. Yeah, I have the tank right here, which is only $99, and really that's about as much as I want to pay for a microphone to begin with, is about 100 bucks. And I think this sounds way better than any Yeti or anything like that.
I haven't bought the tank yet because it's the most expensive out of everything that I would buy.
Oh yeah,
So
oh
that's
definitely.
where I'm at. I'm not like this stingy guy with I just can't do it. Like I can't afford a lot of this stuff. So
Well, even if I could afford it, my wife would frying pan hit me over the back of the head if I bought something like that. Like,
really hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would wake up dead for sure if I bought something like that. Like I'm on a budget. I am on a strictly budget, which is why we're doing the show. Anybody, like I said, anybody who's podcasting on a budget, we're going to help you out. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer the
Mhm.
questions as best we can with the experience that we have. Such as we may have a show about lighting. We may have a show about DIY projects that you can do for, say, backgrounds, lighting, or even audio. Um, we would just a bunch of ideas for
Mhm.
budget podcasting, people on a budget. That's the type of show that I want this show to be.
Glasses. There's gonna be a show about glasses.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm getting glare on mine, but I have a couple lights kind of in my
Yeah.
view. So, but right now I have three lights. I have one right here, I have one right here, and I have like a little fill light right here to make this side of my face a little bit lighter than just completely dark.
Right. Exactly.
I would wake up dead. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
wake up dead, man, for sure.
It's like if we're if you were talking about getting hit with the frying pan. He's like, I'd wake up dead. uh,
Definitely, definitely. Wife don't play when it comes to money and
no.
finances.
So we intend to do this show for right about an hour. We're
Hmm.
not going to be super strict with that, but we're going to do it during the week, so it's not like we can do the long-winded things that me and Mike do. So we're going to try to stick to about an hour. Yeah, Friday nights are no holds bar for me. Like that Friday and Saturday, not during the week. We got
Oh
work,
no.
we got jobs. Um,
And this show right here is on a Wednesday. Our normal schedule time most likely will be Thursdays.
yeah,
We had to reschedule this one in advance because of a personal issue that I'm having coming up.
yep. So
All right, guys. All right, I think we've basically covered most things that we really wanted to cover. Um, does anybody
um,
have any questions?
yeah, let's see some. The only problem that I see right now is everybody that's in the chat. Most of them don't have questions for us,
No, 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 no. This is true. Yeah.
except
Which
Mike.
which
Mike
is
might have
fine.
one.
Mike might have a couple questions. But yeah, what? No 5 hour streams? Oh God, no. I don't know how this guy right here and Mike did a 5 hour stream. Like, granted, it was fun because it helped me out because I was stuck in an airport forever, so they gave me something to watch. But man, how did you wake up with a sore throat the next day?
No, no, man. I got the gift of gab. I love talking.
Oh,
So that's
I
one of my
love it.
favorite things. That's why I do this because I like to talk.
That's
So,
why I do it
oh,
too.
am I
I have
delayed?
no, I don't
Okay.
think so. No. I have we started this show. I have Back to the Retro Review where I do movie reviews and sort of like tech reviews as well. I also have another show called the Mod Squad Network where it's a lot of entertainment news and we go live every Saturday. So I have a lot of outlets, but I kind of want more because I love doing this. This is being in front of a camera, talking to people is what I love.
And doing these, there's feedback, there's stuff to bounce off of. We all know, especially on My Chronicles, how hard it can be to just talk and come up with
Hmm.
something. If it's one thing if you're, this is just from my experience. If you're doing a review, you know exactly what you're going to be talking about. When I'm
Hmm.
doing this like feel good, philosophical, whatever, uplifting kind of stuff, I really have to dig. And having a conversation with a group of people, even though they're in a chat, it's still very helpful. We can respond, we can bounce off each other. So I love this stuff.
Very much. All right. We do have a question.
Yes.
Or at least for me, when did I start YouTube? I started my channel back in 2012, actually. And I started it doing mystery box unboxings. Like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Loot Crate or anything like that. It was like Geeky Box unboxings. And then I started doing a mystery auto celebrity autograph unboxings, and that's where I started. And then I wanted to bring in some of my family, and we started back to the retro review, which is more of it started being a movie review channel of the 80s and 90s. Now we've expanded on that for 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And I recently started doing tech reviews earlier this year, and my channel, honestly, my channel kind of grew a lot when I started doing those.
Yeah. That's what I was noticing the other day. I remember I was telling you, I was
Yeah.
scrolling your page and I'm like, man, all your reviews, they're like, you 600, 700 views. To me, that's big.
To me, that's big
Yeah.
because
To me, that's big.
to yeah, to me that's big because my movie reviews only get like 35 to freaking.
Yeah.
I may go over 100 every once in a
A
while, but
handful.
yeah. And when I do the tech reviews, they blow up. I just did a wallet review and it was over 600, and I'm like,
That's the one I'm
I don't
talking
know.
about. A wallet. Yeah. So the other thing Chris is asking, and why did you start it? And I think you've kind of covered it.
I kind of did, yeah. I honestly, when I very first started doing the mystery autograph unboxings or the nerd mystery boxes, it was so because I knew that they sent them out to to reviewers, so I was like, maybe I can get some free stuff back then. Then it never happened, so I just gave up on it. And then I fell in love with being on camera. I fell in love with people, asking me questions in the comments and stuff like that. And it grew from there. And then, like I said, I wanted to bring in some family, and we started doing the movie reviews. And it's especially now that I moved out of Florida and I'm now in Texas, it's a way for me to connect with some of my family who I don't get to see on a regular basis.
Right. Where are we going next? I'm looking for questions. Felix, I've been wanting to do a 12-hour stream. Good
Absolutely,
Lord.
man.
No. That's crazy.
I mean, it's not just me and Felix on the Mod Squad network. We have a group of 4, so if we did it, it would be like a rotation of
Right.
people.
So
Yeah.
this question, this is the one I was talking to you about. I'm
Mhm.
trying to think of how to. I started to try to show him earlier, but I needed more stuff to finish, and I
Mm.
believe it's just when I go through and scheduled this is how. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. You schedule it up top, Mike. In the edit destinations, you schedule it. You set the time. You add yourself a little thumbnail in there, and you're good to go.
I'm gonna pull in. Oh, it won't let me.
Yeah, not here. No, I won't let you pull
There.
in here. Are you a little staticky there?
Oh, yep. Yeah, it's because I was trying to open up another EV Mux and show him and bring it in, but it's not. It's yelling at me and slapping my hand, telling me I can't do that. I do that with StreamYard all the time. That's why I thought I could do it.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
I'll have
There's a
I'll
way
have
to do
StreamYard
it.
open up. Go ahead
Yeah, there's a
if you
way to
can.
do it, but we're not in the dynamic scenes which you and Mike use during your lives. We're in the pro scenes to where everything's kind of set and locked. I
Oh,
do see
okay.
a question. I do see a question that I'd like to answer here. What is our what would be your favorite piece of tech currently? I'll let you start first, Clay.
Um, I'm simple, man. I don't have a lot of big dollar things here. My Vocaster is probably my favorite piece of tech right now. My audio interface.
I do love my Vocaster, and since I've gotten my new webcam, I still can't afford a mirrorless camera or anything like that, but I really do enjoy this webcam. It is the Elgato MK2. I it is a big step up from the original one right here. But yeah, I enjoy the color accuracy of it. Now I will say it does have a little video noise like right in here that I
Yeah,
can see. I'm not enjoying that part of it, but the color accuracy that this webcam gives is, I think, amazing.
I think you did a comparison between the two, right?
Yes, yes, I
Yeah, it
have a
was. It's
comparison
this
between
this
this
one
one.
is
Yeah.
like light years beyond that one.
Oh, definitely.
That one was
It's.
really saturated and
I looked like a Simpson character, and I
yeah,
didn't realize
he
I
did.
looked like a Simpson character. Yeah,
Yeah, he did. So that would be my favorite. What was it, Mrs. K's
Mrs.
TV? That
K's TV. Yeah.
my favorite thing right now for me is my Vocaster because it makes every single one of my mics sound really good. I don't have to do a lot of. It's not a lot of effort to get it there. I know a little bit about EQing, not a lot, and that helps. I mean, it's fast and over with.
Let's see. Okay,
Moving
same
on to the
clip.
next one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go. Same question for you. When and why?
When did I start? When I started getting serious about making videos for YouTube, probably 8 years ago. And I say serious. What I mean is that's when I started making them specifically to be some sort of personality on YouTube.
Mhm.
But I didn't push real hard. I've got two different channels. My the Clay Allen Chronicles, it only has about 100 and little over 100 subscribers. The Clay Allen Review, which I just renamed, has a little over 1,000. That was just pure luck. I cannot claim any credit to that. But that's about 8 years ago is when I started it. And the reason was the same we've said. I just enjoy this. I enjoy the interaction, the questions, and the reactions that I get from something that I created.
Very well said. You said it better than I did, actually. So, kind of.
No.
Let's see. Clay, all right, let me bring this one up. Clay, you have spoken before about keeping it real, but I think my attitude pushes people away. You know what? Attitude has a lot of thing to do with it too, because if you have a bad attitude while you're on camera, people aren't going to stay, people aren't going to watch, people aren't going to subscribe. So you'd just be sitting there talking to yourself, in my personal opinion. You may have some people who gravitate towards that, but I think I like to keep things as positive as possible because I want to put the positivity out in the world. Who needs negativity in their life, to tell you the truth?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see what he's saying. And if that's his true self, then you gotta be you. But on the same token, um, I've said it before, whatever energy you put out, that's the energy you're going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still be you. Just I don't know, maybe if you think that you're coming off too harsh, and that's what makes people come back to you with an attitude or something, maybe adjust that. I don't know, but definitely stay who you are.
Hey, here's one for you. Hey, how's it going, Bronson?
What's up, Bronson?
Let's see. The Broken Brain says, I'm such a cool guy. When he finishes his remodeling, I'm going to hook him up with a podcasting setup. I might, man. I might hook you up with some things. Maybe
Yeah,
a mic. Maybe a mic. Hey, I got a webcam sitting here, so you'll look like a
just
Simpson character. You'll look like
just
a
doing
Simpson character,
nothing.
but yeah.
But hey, it's the start. It's a start.
It's a budget. Hey, sometimes you got
Yeah.
to pick up stuff for free.
Yeah.
Yard selling, man. If you only knew some of the lighting setups that I've picked up at yard sales, ring lights and stuff like that, that just totally blow up my face to where it's just
Yeah.
not usable.
You
It's
notice that everybody does that, like anybody that doesn't really know about lighting and stuff. And I'm not trying to pick on nobody. I'm
mhm.
not doing that. But everybody goes for those ring lights. And when like people that I know, family and friends, they say, "Hey, I want to start doing something. I'm going to get a ring light." I'm like, "No,
No.
no." I'm like, "Don't go. Why do you want the rings in your eyes? Because that's really all it's going to do. It's going to blow your face out and put rings in your eyes." It's
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have some cheap $30 little bitty lights that I have to turn on by hand. They're not able to be turned on by my computer like an Elgato or anything like that, but they work. And that's it. I think I'm evenly colored, so I don't have that shine spot right here on my face.
I got a couple of those, but it's because I'm hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, sweat will do that.
Yeah.
Sweat will put a shine on you for sure.
Yeah. What did we
Let's
miss
see.
one from Mike? What
My
was
videos
that?
never.
I get it. Yeah, sometimes they sit. So it says my videos never really pop off right away. They don't pop off until they're about 6 months old. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I was talking about the other day is some of the stuff on my channel, I get discouraged really easy. If I don't see a lot of people viewing it. Oh, I was talking to you about it. The
Mm-hmm.
forklift videos. You were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, that was really cool. I liked watching that." And I'm like, I put two of those up on my channel and nobody was really watching them, so I just kind of took them down. But I shouldn't have. I should have left them.
Oh yeah, because anybody who's ever driven a forklift, whether it be for work or just hopped on one, they're fun. They are straight
Yeah,
up fun.
that's what I
I don't
do.
care
Yeah.
what kind of forklift, electric forklifts, propane forklifts. You said you drove one that was like a 3-wheel forklift that I would just die to
Diesel.
drive.
It was
Oh
diesel.
my god!
Those were
Yes,
cool. Those
please.
had, I'll tell you about them real quick. They had a hydrostatic drive. So you didn't have like a brake pedal. There was actually no brakes.
Mm-hmm.
You when you took your foot off, the pedal was like a rocker pedal, and you pushed it forward to go forward, and you pushed it backwards to go backwards. And when you took your foot off, that engaged the brake.
That to me sounds like fun. Like I used to like getting on a semi like we had a salt account and the floor would be very slick and I would love to go and hit my brakes and just slide halfway down. It was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here in the chat. Audio hotline, high level up with Mike Newman and live stream consultants. There's a tip for anybody who needs a light. Small rig makes a great 10-inch light for under $50. I also use Rolano LED panel lights with soft boxes on them. Works great.
Nice.
Seeing those are the type of tips and tricks that,
The,
if we're not giving, that we would love people in the chat to give something. I would like to know what other people's setups are, because every setup is going to be different because every space is different. Every space needs different lighting.
yep.
You can't use the same light. I can't use this lighting if I was to move, say, into my bedroom.
It would be
Just
different.
wouldn't work. It would be completely different. Yeah.
I moved recently, as everybody knows. So back to the budget thing. I was doing this stuff in the corner of my kitchen. Literally, like I had these. I use moving blankets, and I use them because they help sound deaden. Um, but I had those stretched across behind me so that you couldn't see my kitchen. You know. So and then I moved up here, and I feel like since I'm moving up here, the light is better.
I like it. There's more depth. You have more depth to
Yeah.
you right there. So
Yep.
Let's see. There's nothing wrong with using shop lights with a daylight LED bulb and a piece of white shower curtain stretched across for different diffusion. Works great. This is true. Or taking one of those cone lights if you have a desk close to a wall, shining it off your wall and getting the diffused light to bounce off of that wall right onto you. Like I believe Clay said, he has a light bouncing off of the TV right now.
Yeah, I've got one bouncing off the wall and one off the TV, and it's literally, you'll see it. There it is. It's gone. And the back of this TV is white. So I just literally have a little desk lamp aimed at it. You see the adjustment?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is too much. So I do like the middle setting on it, and that kind of fills in those shadows. Or if I want to have those shadows and get a little more intimate, I do it like this.
There you go. There you go. Miss K says she uses a Logitech Light Glow. That works great too. I've seen Miss K's streams. Miss K she's an excellent gamer, by the way. I suggest anybody go check out Miss K TV. She's a great gamer.
Yeah. I'll have to check her out. I have not. I'm just being honest. I'm trying to find, for some reason, I'm not seeing any of these comments.
You're not.
The last comment that I have is live stream consultants, says Clay, same question for you and why, which I already answered.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep.
You know what? I will say, I love AVMux, but sometimes it has its bugs.
This might be one of them.
It could be.
Because you're seeing them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's how he started it, as a solid option. Let's see. Mike said, a great hack for soundproof panels. Use shaggy bathroom floor mats and tack them to the walls. They are 2x3 and great knockdown echoes in a room until you can invest in better sound treatment. That's very true. We plan on having a show about sound treatment and sound and room space in the future. We plan on having a show about lighting. We plan on having a show about audio. We plan on having a show about what streaming service to use and why. So we have different shows lined up about and subjects to talk about. Words are hard right now, guys. Words are hard. It's been a long day.
Yeah. Yep. It's the end of the night. Yeah, this is weird. So you're gonna have to man the comments, because I don't see nothing.
Fine.
And it's still stuck on the screen for me.
That's perfectly fine. I don't know if you want to, but you could probably go out and come back in, and maybe that may work for you that way.
That's up. That doesn't matter. I can. It won't.
Yeah,
it won't mess up the broadcast, will it?
No.
See. Go ahead.
Broken Brain says, I have a bad attitude with certain things, but I started my channel to help with my mental health. I like to vent, and I welcome people to vent without worry. Is this approach a failed start? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, he's given people an outlet. He's given himself one, and he's given other people an outlet. So that is definitely not a failed attempt.
You are doing a different version of what this show is, basically. This is an outlet for Clay and myself. We enjoy tech. We enjoy podcasting. And we are venting to get knowledge out there to help other people. That's basically what we're doing. And get information back as well. Like some of the tips that Mike has put out there, Miss K, they've been great tips. Let's see,
definitely.
Mr. Crispers. He says, use a cheap ring light and a mirrored ceiling to make my videos pop. I don't know what kind of videos you're making there, Mr. K.
A mirrored ceiling.
Mr. Crispers. Yeah. Hey, we gotta keep an eye on Mr. Crispers. He can be a little cheeky. He can be a little cheeky.
That's all right. That's all right.
Mr. Crispers, we're actually broadcasting not only to Back to the Retro Review, we're broadcasting to the Chronicles with Clay. Clay shows.
We're broadcasting to the Clay Allen Chronicles and the Clay Allen Review.
Yeah,
both of my channels.
So we're actually broadcasting to 3 different YouTube channels at this point. Um, and like I said, it's not for views, it's not for anything other than, us wanting to help people.
Hmm. Getting the more people can see it, the more we can feed off of it. Like we're gonna use this as well. People are gonna bring
Mhm,
stuff to the table, not just us. So
mhm.
that's what it's all about.
Yep, see, live stream consultants. No, these guys are streaming on both of their respective channels. Some comments are coming in from Clay's channels and some from Kevin's.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm getting frustrated that I don't see any of these no more.
Why don't you just go out and come
What
back
do I
in,
do to
man.
go out? Just hit the back button,
Yeah,
back
hit
to
the
the
back button
dashboard.
or close your tab and whatever you wanna do. You did it. I'll have Clay drop a link. Guys, definitely if you're watching on my channel, if you've never watched Clay before, definitely check him out. He gives some very good inspirational videos. He's getting to do some great reviews. Hey, he's back.
I didn't even give you a chance to finish talking.
You didn't. You didn't.
No, I was like, "Poof."
When you get a chance, though, man, they're asking for you to drop a link to your channels in the chat.
I can do that. I can definitely do that for them. Hang on one second. So now I'm seeing Clay's channel. Is
You
that the last one? Mirrored ceilings. Be sure to check that box.
know, not meant for
So is that the
kids.
most recent comments?
My box is checked, not meant for kids. I do have that checked to be permanent on my channel because sometimes I could be a little cheeky as well.
All right. So let
Uh,
me see how I can do this. I don't want to mess this up.
no, open another tab, get a
Yeah.
link, and then it actually says down in the comments, post a comment.
Let's see. I'm going to pull this away and leave that all
Let's
separate
see.
by itself.
Miss K is going to check you out. Got broken brain asking another question. If I want to get people to have a live discussion, what is the best approach to get someone to just talk about nothing and anything? Let's see. A live discussion. Like, you want them to come on your show live, or do you want to have a discussion in chat? There's two different ways to do this. Two different options.
There's the review. Oh wait. Oh no. Okay, it's so it's just posting on
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, yeah. Let me
yeah.
go to the next one.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
No, budget solutions, like I said, there's not a lot of people who are gonna start creating, who's gonna have the budget of a Tom Buck or somebody like that. Yeah, there's nobody who's gonna start like that way. Like, I started in my bedroom. I had using my work computer broadcasting YouTube.
Yeah.
I was
So
using my work computer, yeah.
the first one I posted, just so they know, is the Clay Allen Chronicles. The second one that I posted is the Clay Allen Review. I should have typed that in there, but I didn't.
No, it's fine. I want to get to this comment right here because he's talking good about us. I have to say, you guys are a perfect example of having great video for live streaming without having expensive cameras. Your video looks great. I appreciate that very much. Like I said, when I first started, I started with like a 720 camera, thinking it was good. Then from there, what I go from there? I upgraded to a 1080 or 1040
Yeah.
camera, 1080. And then I used that for a long time, and then I got the Elgato. I used that for a long time.
I've had my eye on those for a while, but like I'm using a phone. If for anybody that doesn't know, most of this people, the people in the chat know, but for Miss K, Mr. Crispers, I'm using an iPhone. This is my work phone. It's an iPhone 14 Pro. Sometimes I'll use an iPhone 13 Pro with a different angle and get
Hmm.
two different angles. And actually, I haven't even used it yet. I've got one of those, the Anchor, the Power Conference 200. But out of everything that I have, and I've got a Canon, I've got a DSLR that's got a couple of decent lenses. I don't like it. When I use it, it doesn't look as good as this. So I'd rather use this. I'd rather just stick with this.
I gotta say, man, when I first saw your videos, when the very first inspirational video that I seen you do, I was like, man, he is very crisp. I thought you had like a Sony or a Canon or something like that, and I was like, man, that looks
No.
so good. And I'm looking at mine. I'm like, here's the thing: a lot of creators are going to start comparing themselves to each other, and that is something you don't need to get into because you can go down a bad rabbit hole. I know
Yeah.
because I've done it. Like I try to compare myself to others, and I don't have the budget of some. And you don't need to compare yourself as long as you put out good content. People are going to watch, and as long as it sounds decent, people are going to listen. So it's all about the content that you put out, not totally the quality. You still want decent quality.
Yeah.
You
You want to
don't it don't
retain. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Because
you
if it
want
doesn't
people to
sound good or
retain.
look good, nobody's going to want to watch it. But you don't have to, like he's saying, you don't have to dig deep, deep in your pockets to do it. I can't. So,
And
you know,
your freaking phone looks so good. Like the colors look very rich using your phone.
wonder if I can. Let me see something real quick. Keep going, and I'm just gonna.
No,
I've
no,
got
no,
an
no.
idea.
Let's see, live stream consultants. The Broken Brain showed the best way for you is to start the conversation, encourage the chat to engage in your topic. Very true. Very true. That's the exact way. I'm sorry if we didn't fully answer you right there, Broken Brain. But yeah, just start the conversation. If your viewers will catch on, they'll start. But you got to start somewhere. I know that you just started streaming. I know that you just started streaming, so you got to build up your base. You got to build your base, and I love that. I love that it just hangs right there too.
I'm
That
just,
is great.
I'm just letting Miss K, Mr. Crisper. I am using my phone.
I
That is
love
all.
that.
That's all I'm doing. My phone, and I have one. Where is it at? LED light that aims at the wall and bounces the light, and that's it. Let me turn this
See,
off.
like I was saying, yeah, just aim your light on the wall, and that's really all you need for diffusion.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I did. I have no softbox on it. I don't have none of that. What do we got?
Same Kevin, great lighting and background can make any camera look good. Bad lighting will make a camera look bad. Know where to invest and where to start a channel. Yeah, this is very true. And that's
Yep.
kind of why we started this, because I've seen a lot of videos that have been posted that the face and everything have been blown out because they're standing in front of a window or something behind them to where you don't see them. And
Yeah,
it's not great. So I
that'll
want
give
to,
that silhouette effect.
yeah, I want to be able to help people out. Let's see. Broken Brain said, thank you, live stream consultant. And yes, thank you, because apparently we just dropped the question. Crispers. Even when you announce conversations showed, this is what I envision. Yeah. Oh, the conversations. Okay. So conversations is a show that we have on the Mod Squad network. Clay's been on it. Mike
Yep.
Newman has been on it. I think it's a great show, and that's one of the shows to where we try to get YouTubers on and just ask them questions to let their fans get to know them in more of a lighthearted type of way.
more
That's,
real, more down to
yes.
earth.
And I like the questions. I think some of them are funny. Like one of the questions, my first question is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah. It's a hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
Yeah, it's not a sandwich. Oh,
Oh, he noticed. He noticed. I was wondering. I was wondering when that would come up. To tell you the truth, I was wondering when that one would come up.
There you go, Mike.
Yeah, we're not using the normal microphone that we normally use.
Nope.
Like he's using a K688. I'm using this one, but Clay. I don't think Clay has the ability to do this, but I can.
No, I don't.
I can bring in the tank. I can bring in the tank, which I think, honestly, in my headphones sounds a little bit better. What does
Do
everybody
you?
in the chat think? Yeah.
Yeah. What does everybody in the chat think? I think, believe it or not, the 5-core sounded better, but this one sounds a little more warm, like comfortable. I don't know. It's like it's a little more subtle.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
The other one is definitely more present.
Let's see. I love conversations with the Mod Squad. Okay, only if it's a single slice of bread. Did I miss something?
I
What are
don't
we
know.
talking
They
about?
were talking
Food.
about food, yeah, because Mr. Crispers is cooking.
Oh,
I don't know. He
I
said
didn't know you
he
could cook Crispy. I didn't know Crispy could cook.
and he also said that he uses his Pixel 8 Pro and a lamp. Yeah, I mean that's all. Whatever you got, and then take what you got and just. I taught myself by watching YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
learn a little bit about lighting, positioning, stuff like that, and you start to make it all look. It all starts to jive, and as Kevin put it, gel. It all gels.
It all gels.
Yeah.
Gels. All right. Let's see. Miss K says the tank sounds softer, but she likes both mics though.
Yep.
I do. I really love the look of the 5-core only because it has that retro look to it. I think I like them.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can't say every
There's
mic. I can't. Yeah,
right there.
right there. I can't say every mic that 5-core puts out because there's a video coming out tomorrow on my channel that ooh
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
ooh. It's the crispers. Well, hey, gummies make anything happen, Kevin. I watched Food Network for the past 6 hours. I'm
Yeah.
an expert.
He's an
Hey,
expert. Yeah.
if it's legal, man, if it's legal, I'd go for it.
If he
I,
binged watched anything, he's now
an
officially able to
expert.
teach others. Yeah.
Which is funny because I used to watch like the DIY shows all the time when I was renting. Now that I own a home, I stay away from them. I'm not trying to do any DIY project. Oh, there we go. 5-core really surprised him. Yeah, I think it's a decent sounding mic for what it is. It's a
Yeah.
dynamic microphone, but and I like the build quality of it too. Like, oh my god, like this is a tank, but so is that. Like the build
Oh
quality
yeah.
on that thing is just
The
solid.
one that's the same as the one you sent me, right?
Yeah, it's the exact
Yeah.
same, just a different colors.
It's a hefty little dude, man. You could hurt somebody with that thing.
You
I do want
could.
to answer Chris at Livestream Consultants. He asked if I'm using XLR or USB. No, I'm still using XLR. I have not had the time to look into the USB thing with this mic. For some reason, it
Although,
might be a Mac thing. I don't know.
although that would be a cool show for you sounding like a demon all show.
Yeah,
I'm not
for the
saying, but
whole
I'm saying.
like you just do the entire show like that.
Yeah.
Everybody be like, "What is he
Yeah.
saying?" Like they'll catch
Welcome
it
to
sometimes. Yeah.
welcome to budget podcasting with the demon and Kevin.
Let's see. What did he say?
Let's see. Thou shalt teach the world about Routini.
Routine. Oh, Rotini. Yeah.
Rotini.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rotini. I'm from the South. I can't pronounce those Italian words.
Yeah.
Let's see. Level up with Mike Newman. Wait until you get your hands on the Memphis Blue. It's on the way to Clay as we speak. You should have it Monday.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That
That
is
thing is
very cool.
it's huge. It's like big.
It is. It is. And when I was looking up retro microphones, which I still look up, by the way, I came across another company called Carol, and they make a huge retro looking microphone, Carol mics. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I want it, but the price point on that's a little bit more than I want to pay for it. So
Right. So this is a good question. The Broken Brain Show. How do you get past that feeling of just talking to yourself? It's hard.
it really is.
It took me. I don't know if you've watched any of. Well, I think he has been watching my stuff, and that person that you see, that's me. if you look further back on some of my stuff, which I may not have, I've probably got it hidden. It wasn't me. Like whenever I tried to do scripted stuff, whenever I tried to like write down, right, well, this is what I want to say, this is what I want to talk, it did not work. Didn't work at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me. I know some people can do it. For me, it didn't work. But that you get, it's almost like imposter syndrome, I guess. You don't feel like it's you at all.
No, that's very true.
And
I
how you
think.
get, go ahead.
Go no. Finish.
Well,
Finish
I'm
your
just
thought.
saying how I got past it. Repetition. Do it,
Mm-hmm.
do it, and do it, and do it. Next thing you know, it just starts coming natural. It's really all you can do.
Even when I'm doing reviews, it's kind of hard to sit there and talk to myself about a product. Even though I'm trying to get information out, I have to pretend like the camera is a person sometimes. Like I have to feel like I'm looking in somebody's eyes when I'm looking into a camera. So that could be one thing. It's a lot of pretend. Sometimes I'm looking into, say, Superman right here. I'm looking into Superman. As Superman, I'm talking to Superman. So that's one way to do it is pretend you're, just looking into somebody's eyes because the camera looks like an eyeball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really about the only way I can think of other than straight repetition, because it is very hard, very
Mm-hmm.
hard to sit in front of a camera and just talk. You don't know how many times I've just sat there and just stopped talking mid-sentence because I didn't know what I was talking about or who I was talking to. It takes time.
Yeah. Repetition. Just keep doing it and keep doing it. It is weird. Sometimes you'll feel, I don't know, almost ghost like. Yep.
Yeah,
Bronson even saying, yeah, repetition is really the best. It is. You just got to
it
do it
is.
over and over and over and over, and you'll finally, at some point, you'll grow into it.
And there's teleprompters and stuff out there. I use one only on the Mod Squad network when I'm talking about news. I've never used one when talking about like a product or something like that. I know that some people do, and they do great with it. I personally can't do it because I sound like a robot when I'm talking and I'm reading something that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
It's just I can't do it.
I
It's hard.
know. I know.
I've tried it. Now I will write out some bullet points that I may want
Yeah.
to hit or something
Yeah.
like that in a note, and like a sticky note, and put it right below my camera. But other than that,
I
just
actually
it takes a lot of
highly
practice.
suggest to do what Kevin said because if you don't write it down, when I don't know about you guys, Kevin, maybe you can save if you do. I have a tendency when that kicks in to start forgetting everything that I wanted to talk about. You're just dead staring the camera, and you're like, and you had this whole thing worked out in your head, but now it's not coming out. So it does definitely help to write down your talking points, bullet points, whatever you want to call it, and you can glance at those and go, oh, all right, I got to talk about that, and then you'll get back into it.
Have you ever done this? Have you ever, started say a review or started one of your inspirational videos and said the same thing over like three different times in a row, and
Yes,
only because you could not think of the very next thing you wanted to jump to? I've
yes,
done
I
that
have done that.
many a times,
Totally done that.
many a time.
It's bad.
Level Up with Mike Newman says experience is what gets you past it. That way you get set a goal. See, I can't read a teleprompter.
That's
I
right.
can't even read a
That
freaking
that's why you just set a goal for making 100 videos. It's the experience of getting used to it is what you're building.
Yeah. Oh my God. See, I can't read a teleprompter because I can't read a comment.
Well, ad lib it a little bit. You kind of look ahead before
Yeah.
you see it, and then
Oh
just kind
man.
of throw in whatever words you need to get the point across.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, we're coming up on an hour. I have enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody has put some good advice out there. We're gonna have some more scripted shows coming up soon. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everybody who's been in chat. Thank you
Yep.
so much. I want to read this one real quick. I don't know how
Go
many
ahead.
times I've had to cut out clips of me repeating myself over and over again in a review. It's brutal sometimes. It really is. It really
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Where you just stop and just blank out.
Yep.
All right, guys. Like I said,
Uh,
thank you for joining us. Clay, do
and
you have any last words?
just think of, I want everybody that plans on watching next week, and it's going to be Thursday. We're going to
Mhm.
do 9 o'clock
Yeah,
or
yeah.
8. Okay, 9. So
Same
9
budget time,
Eastern.
same budget channel.
All right. Same, but look at you like coining those. All right. So get your questions ready. Think about what you guys want to discuss. We will, like, again, we will start the show the same. We're going to address a couple of key things that we want to say. Um, and then we will get into the questions, and that's where it becomes audience participation. So
It is definitely, definitely. All right, guys. That does it for this episode of Budget Podcasting with Clay and Kevin. I want to thank you again. And if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
good night.